Haha, nice. Cool. All right. So, got the overhead shot. Bam! Woo! We're looking good. So back to the DAW. And here, I'll just explain how this is set up really quick. So this is kind of like a Psytrance DJ set that I would do in Ableton Live, and the way I kind of do it is so in terms of the routing, so I've got like tracks, like DJ tracks, just broken up into loops and kind of sections. So I've got like kind of intro loops and outro loops, and then I can kind of drop into the, and here, I'll show you on the other camera. So like with just the APC 40 here, yeah, I can kind of go to like one section of a track, go out if I want, bring in a loop from another track, you know, all that kind of good stuff. That's not what's really that clever. What's kind of interesting and more clever, I would say, is that how I have this set up for the track routing for what I'm about to kind of show you. Rather than having these sort of tracks going to the master, what I do is I set up a bus to, let me go back to live. Yeah, so I set up a bus to this channel, which I call dry, and I just have the monitor input turned on, and then I have it on a crossfader. So I have that on crossfader A, and then I have another bus here called wet, and that's on crossfader B. So dry, wet, which is, this is where it gets really fun. And then from here, I pull the audio from the dry channel, but I do it pre-fader, which is key. That way, the audio is always kind of piping through, and then from there, it goes out to the master. And then the other part of this, so I have Stutter Edit on my wet channel. Here's the new Stutter Edit, very sleek, looks a lot sexier than the old one. And what's cool about Stutter Edit is you can trigger different rhythmic patterns with just simple MIDI messages, which are pitch dependent. And so I have these different MIDI clips, which then trigger different rhythmic and effects patterns within Stutter Edit. And I can launch those with my clip launch here on the APC 40. So the whole thing I can just control, you know, from the APC 40. I don't really have to touch the computer at all. In fact, if I was doing this really like in a full live show, I would want to put the computer like as far away as possible, or not have a computer at all, quite frankly. But so that's kind of the signal flow. That's sort of what's happening. But let's go ahead and just hear kind of how it sounds. And I started building some presets because I was going to release the presets, but I guess I'm not going to do that anymore. But making presets is a great way to learn, so it's kind of fun. So they start out a little bit simplistic, and then they kind of will get more complex. And I only have 9, but you'll get the idea. It's pretty fun. All right, so with that, I'm just gonna take a loop. There we go. How's that? Is that better? Yeah. And it sounds pretty decent, right? For a live stream. I'll tell you, Zoom sounds horrific compared to this. This is the best quality that I've been able to find with currently available tools. Look at this. If you want, you can also even... Oh, look at that. Got me over here. Yep. Look at that. Got me over, oh, not that one. Anyway, okay. So, I'll just show you really quick with this loop. And now I will just trigger my MIDI clips. And my MIDI clips will then give me these different rhythmic patterns. So we start out very simple. It's just like a filter and a repeating loop. So you can hear just repeating. But it can be kind of fun. Do a little quick thing like that. And then we're gonna increase the rhythm. So we start off on a quarter note, then we'll go to an 1/8 note rhythm. That's fun. And then we can go to a 16th note rhythm. And you can play them. That's what's even more fun, is you can kind of, right? And this is just the very basics. 30-second note. And you can, and there's some cool effects too, like, so that's fun. I really like faders. I'm a huge fan of faders. That's why I like this controller, even though it's not the fanciest controller, it's not the most expensive controller, but it's got a crossfader and it's got hard faders, and I slam them and I slam this, and that's what I do when I play. I like to slam things, faders in particular. So then we'll go to the next bank. And you see we not only get rhythm stuff, but there's also some effects. And if I open it up, that one kind of needs to get cleaned up probably a little bit, but I'll show you here a little bit of what's happening with Stutter Edit. And switch. Not that one. Yeah. So with Stutter Edit, we have basically our different, our rhythmic variations, which also can be programmed with envelopes, which is cool. So I'm just doing like, this one's a quarter note, but I could click this and I could say, you know what, let's have it ramp up. Kind of like, however you want it. And now we're gonna get a whole different sound. So you get a little auto build-up thing kind of happening there, which is fun. And so you have all these effects too, which also all have envelopes. We've got distortion, lo-fi, chorus, comb filter, which is, you know, great. You can program these envelopes to your heart's content, whatever you want to do. Reverb, flanger, phaser. I actually prefer to have the reverb go via ascend, so that when I gate it with the crossfader, you still get that reverb tail. Right? Oops. Yeah. There we go. So that's kind of fun. Yeah, so I'll show you. So back on my wet channel, blah, blah, blah. Oh, and then the routing on this, very easy in Ableton. You can always just go and you can route the MIDI to anywhere you want. So I have it routed to this other channel, and then, so first drop down is channel, second drop down is device on the channel in case you have multiple devices. So now back to Stutter Edit, and then we got, what else we got? Right, a little more rapid. All kind of fun stuff. Just so fun for like making really, really fast breaks. And it could even be cool in a modular rig. Like, so sometimes I kind of find like making fills and stuff, it's a little bit tedious. It's not like the most like enjoyable part of the music production process for me. Like, I might, here we go. Yeah, I might want to, where am I? Let's, no. There we go. Look at that, I can talk to you. Yeah, so like I might want to just like have a loop, right? That's sometimes kind of a fun way to come up with track ideas. Just lay out like, you know, a 6-minute, all your drums, your bass, and then just record a bunch of synths going crazy for 6 minutes. Get the whole, smorgasbord of all the stuff, and then go and refine it and edit it and whatnot. But you know, if you want just like, oh man, we need to like, you know, go and make fills throughout this whole song. You know, boom. It's kind of fun. I think that would be a cool way to do it. And of course, obviously for live performance. So last ones. So that one has a little gate on it, which is kind of fun. And here, I'll actually turn off the reverb so it's a little clearer. Yeah. So that is courtesy here of our gate. Faster one. And now we're starting to get into psytrance territory. My first ones, I like to start off with just very, oh, here, we'll go. Sorry, I was showing things. See, this is what I need somebody to auto switch for me. So anyway, so what I was trying to say is, this is the gate. This is kind of where we have the ability to, And then plus you start getting more complex effects combinations, you can actually get really nicely highly produced sounding fills, like super fast. See, and you could, go to town with that. Let's go back to this one. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. That's my Stutter Edit demo. So anyway, yeah, it's pretty fun, man. I gotta say, it's addicting. It's a neat little toy, and it's kind of like we were talking about earlier. It's like, modular is great, analog is great. There's also other cool things that are great too, and so it's I think it's good not to close doors where doors are full of magic. So I'm likening Stutter. Okay, all right. I'm gonna oh, and look at this. I got remote control. I'm gonna kill the stream. I might send this to some people later. This was actually really cool. So but I'll join you back on the messenger. Look at this. I can go stream ended.